we had just started Bible school. We were probably in our second quarter, and I got arrested. Yeah. So when you get a traffic ticket and you forget about it, they don't. And it had been like a year, and I had moved a couple times, so I got pulled over because my registration was expired.
Really?
Yes, and I had a warrant, big baby. So one car pulled up, and I'm like, oh man, I'm about to get a ticket. The second car pulled up, and I was like, oh, I'm about to go spend some time. And it was Friday. It was 8 o'clock. I was like, I'm about to do a whole weekend, because that's just how the system goes. Right. And because I failed to appear for my ticket, they wouldn't let me off on my own recognizance. So I had to stay. I wasn't going anywhere. And DeKalb County is the most ratchet, disgusting. It was terrible.
Because I know about DeKalb County.
It was so awful. I mean, if you can call it food, that's what it was. I didn't have a mattress. I slept on a slate, a steel slate with a sheet. I had no pillow. And when I had walked into my cell, the woman who was my cellmate actually had a book from my church that was talking about the fruit of the Spirit. And in my class, we were talking about the fruit of the Spirit. And the fruit that we were on was long-suffering. I was like, okay, Lord, I'm listening.
See, so
that was her fall season. So I want you to realize that. So in her fall season, she was being prepared.
Right.
So that sort of helped her as she went through her winter season. So the stage was already set.
And I'm glad that you brought that point out, because several of us don't see the nuggets. Because somebody could have saw that book and got mad because they weren't able to go to church that weekend, or because they weren't able to go to Bible school that weekend, and completely looked at the situation for the devastation that they were in. But you saw a light in the midst of a dark situation, even though you were on that fall.
Another critical factor was the mindset.
Right.
Yes.
The mindset helps you through the winter season. So her mindset was already staged.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was already a setup to help you go through your winter, even though you had to go into the pits.
And I'm glad that you said that, because when you were talking about seed time and harvest time, a lot of times we are going through, we're in preparation for our harvest time. Yes. And we're taking things in, taking it in. You're taking in information. You're just, you're gathering information. And I've always studied, and I've always been a part of church. That's my foundation. That's my background. That's my granddad. He made sure that was my foundation. But a lot of times you'll get so much information and no practical application of it. Right. So you have knowledge of it. You know what the right thing is to do, but you don't know how to practically apply. Right. So I knew I had understanding and I had information, but I just hadn't mastered the practical application of that information. And that was something that my church's focus was. Right. Our pastor wanted us to live. He wanted us to be able to apply what we were learning and benefit here on earth and receive the blessings that God has for us. So when I came into the church, I was like, okay, yes, I want some practical application. And so when I got into this situation, I had so much good teaching that I knew, okay, there's something I have to learn here. There's something that I have to get here. So I saw the book there, and I told that lady, I was like, can I read your Bible? Because I wasn't going to be in class, but I was going to read. Right. I wasn't going to stop reading. Right. And I just continued to feed myself. I didn't know why I was feeding myself, but I knew that I wasn't going to allow this situation to break me. I was going to learn whatever I needed to learn.
Wow.
And it's always easy to go in strong. Because, I'm thinking a weekend, right? That's easy. I got this. Monday morning, they'll tell me how much the ticket is and I'll pay it and be good to go. No, that wasn't the case. It wasn't a weekend. My ticket was in Roswell, which is a whole other county. So I had a ticket in DeKalb County. I sat in that jail. I bonded out of DeKalb County only to find out that I would then need to be transferred to Fulton County. Not Fulton County because that's Atlanta, but I would need to be transferred to Roswell. And so I was like, okay, you have got to be kidding me. Okay, when am I going to leave? Because these women were loud. They were rowdy. They think they got boyfriends. They writing notes on milk cartons and putting it in windows talking about, I talked to my man today. And I'm sitting here thinking, you don't have no relationship. He can't see you. Y'all both struggling. What you going to do? Give him your commissary. So I'm just like, this is not going to work. So I stayed to myself because everybody was so volatile that I didn't even want to get in the mix and have anyone mistake me. And then my focus changed, and now I'm outside of where I'm supposed to be paying attention to. Tunnel vision. I got downstairs getting ready to get transferred. I got my clothes back on. I'm sitting in the little holding cell waiting for the cop to come get me. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Where you at? I'm supposed to leave. I have my regular clothes on. I'm ready for the next phase. I'm ready to be done with all of this. They came back and told me, you're not leaving. You gotta go back upstairs. Let me go get you your suit. I broke. That was it. How can you tell me I'm not leaving this place? Like, I'm ready to go. And so because they told me I had to stay there, and then he said it when he brought me that nasty tray with that so-called gravy and that floating meat substance, talking about, here's your dinner. And I'm like, I didn't even want to see this tray no more. Are you kidding me? I broke all the way down. Snot, crying, mad. Come on, God. I'm sitting here trying to, apply, and you pausing me. I want to get out of here. I want to get out. This is uncomfortable.
And that's why you ask the question, why? Why me?
Exactly. I don't want to do this.
That's when the snow started falling.
Yes, that's your frozen time. That's your winter.
Yep. So they came, they got me, they shipped me up to the other cell. To the other jail. And this jail of the suburbs had hot coffee, fresh fruit, outside time, books you could read. Now, being that books are something I'm passionate about and that I love, I said, let me go get a book. And I had got Bishop T.D. Jakes, he had a book about Ephesians, about putting on the whole armor. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect. And so one thing that I've always told myself is that a lot of times we don't go through situations for ourselves.
Right.
We go through situations to be a blessing to somebody else.
Right.
So I took that time to write down every lesson I learned, and I put a scripture to it. And I wrote it down. They gave us paper and a pen. And I wrote it down on this paper and this pen. And I'm just like, okay, Lord, who am I here for? So I started talking to the women. And there were 2 women that I connected with. And it was just, it gave me so much relief. Because I told them, I said, if I've gone through everything that I've gone through over this 10 days, because it was 10 days, it was 2 weekends. If I've gone through this just to be able to talk to you and encourage you and give you information so that you can have hope, then I'm okay. I'm content with that.
So now you're entering your spring.
I guess you could say that.
And then you got out.
No, it was the other piece of it, Daddy. Because it was still more. Because once I came out and I was able to have peace about that situation, it was almost like God was saying, that wasn't everything that you needed to learn. And it just became situation after situation after situation. Loved ones getting injured. My husband had to go in the hospital, and then overnight they decided to give him a defibrillator, and I'm trying to help him heal, and the lights off, and I got kids. I'm trying to make sure they continue to stay focused on their education, because I know that I'm the example. So how I handle trauma and tragedy will be how they learn to handle it. And I'm not one for defeat. I'm not one for quitting. I'm not going to let a situation keep me down. So if my baby's watching, I got to show them how you keep rocking this out. You cannot allow it to get you sunken in a place that you can never come out of.
So what are some of the strategies you use to really help you push through?
You can't dwell. You can't dwell on where you are. And you have to be mindful not to make permanent decisions in a temporary situation.
And you know, that's phenomenal that you say that, because I fell in another valley in my life a long, long time ago, and I call them the three apostles. Came, and Reverend Gregory Nelson sang this song that just stirred my spirit, and Reverend Sadler said a prayer that sort of broke it off, and then Reverend Coleman came and preached a word, and he said, sometimes God allows you to be in a certain place for a season and for a reason. You have to endure your season until you find your reason. Now, in identifying the spring of your life and coming to that place where things were starting to settle down, how were you able to reflect and apply those stages of your life from going from worse to ebonically worser situation, but still being able to overcome? How were you able to reflect and bring the comparison of those situations to who you are now? Because you said that when you go through something and something happens and then you come out and you'll never be that person again. The new person that you were becoming in your spring. What brought that all together in that reflection process?
It's hard when you're going through it to really reflect. And a lot of times you want to learn the lesson, but you're not sure if you're learning it all. And the one thing that always kept me focused was the Word of God. These are promises that He made. He said He can't lie and He can't fail. He said no weapon formed against me would prosper. If those are promises that He made to me, who am I to doubt Him? I don't care if He doesn't show up today or till 5 years from now. But no matter what, I am coming out. And I'm coming out on top. And I'm going to shine like a diamond. You better believe it. Because the situations that I was going through, I knew were temporary. And I had to get through it or I'd be doomed to repeat it. And I'm not one for knowingly repeating the same lessons. But like I said, my babies were watching. So how I handled it would be an example for how they would handle it. And that's why I always had to be mindful to handle situations on a higher level.
So what advice would you give to someone who's watching who may be stuck in the same kind of valley similar to yours?
Stop looking at your problem. A lot of times we get into those places and we ask, why? Why? Why am I here? Why am I struggling? Why is this job not appreciating me? Why are they not paying me enough? Stop asking that question and start talking about what it is that you want. Because your words are seeds. Every word you speak out of your mouth is a seed. And seed time and harvest time are eternal. So if you speak negatively, you reap negatively. And a lot of times we'll speak about our problems so much, but we will not talk about our goals. We will not talk about the things that we're trying to accomplish. We will not discuss where we're trying to go. Because in looking at where you're trying to go, you have to make a plan. And once you have a plan, you have to act on it. And a lot of times we are afraid of success because it requires more of us. We cannot give the same excuses that we gave to ourselves when we were trying to learn. Because once you have knowledge, you can't be ignorant about that anymore.
Right.
You can't act like you don't know, because you know. So once you have the knowledge and you understand it, you need to act on it. You have to act on it. You have a duty to act on it. Because for me, I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm developing for the benefit of my children. And I'm finding that along the way, there are other people who can also benefit from what I'm trying to give to my seed. So if you have a need and you cross my path, I'm going to bless you. If I got it, you got it. And a lot of times that can be dangerous because people will take advantage of you. But I enjoy giving. I enjoy sowing into other people. Because when I'm giving into them, I'm not thinking about my problem. And like I said, there's always seed and there's always harvest.
So where are you right now? What are you doing? Tell our audience a little bit about what you're doing and your next.
Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here with you. I am.
So that's an accomplishment.
Yes, it is. That within itself is an accomplishment. So
that's almost the end of the journey.
Almost.
Yeah.
Actually, I am working with another group of authors, Hartford's Literary Integrated Trailblazers. Hey, y'all. And we are working to have a book festival in Hartford for May of 2019. And that's something that we've all just been really passionate about, being a writer of color, and seeing other writers of color who are willing to tell their story. You want to make sure that their story is heard. You want to make sure that their story is told. We have a right to tell our own stories. I'm tired of finding other people or watching movies and reading other books and other stories, and other people are telling all these different various versions of their stories. But we don't have our story. And that's because a lot of times people are too ashamed to tell their truth because they don't want to be judged. That was something that held me back. I didn't want to tell all my truth. I don't need all these people knowing I was in jail. So that my lights were off. So you don't want nobody to know that.
How has this program helped you? And how would you encourage other people to be part of the Dr. Jackie's Writers
The
Academy?
program, it's a beautiful, beautiful process. Like I said, I enjoy the one-on-one. And that really gives you an opportunity to reflect. Because if you try to reflect by yourself and you don't really know how to reflect, you can just sit there and now you're just dwelling on everything that went wrong. And now you're kind of sad about it. You're kind of depressed about it. But when you have other people around you, because your circle is important, that can help guide and point you in the right direction. There have been days when I've come into a meeting and she's like, okay. Oh my gosh, Tchalla, you got to write that down. Okay, so which one are we going to start with? And I'm like, I don't know. But it gives you, when you stop looking at your problem, you're able to dream bigger, see bigger, and do more. Right. And as you look at dreaming bigger and doing more, you realize that you can have a vision, but you're not meant to push that thing out by yourself. Right. And so divine connections come into play. And the people who will help you to move along that path because you're walking along in your purpose will come along and give you exactly what you need in order to fulfill what it is that you need to fulfill for your life. So you just got to stay focused. And that's what this process did. It helped me stay focused. It helped me put it on paper. It helped me hear it out loud and make it happen.
That's awesome. So I encourage anyone out there that is fiddling with the idea, have had something inside of you that you just want to get out, want to share. You may not want to be a contributing author. You may want to write your own book. Reach out to Dr. Jackie. She's a very, very, very profound life coach. She helps pull things out of you that you may not have ever been able to identify were there, or you might see every day and just not realize how valuable it actually is. Like a lot of people looking at my necklace and see beads, but you don't understand that these are crystals. It's about energy. It's about channeling, being at peace, being one with myself, bringing balance. We can look at something all the time and never see the true value And if we can look in ourselves in the mirror and say, oh my God, my hair, but not realize, oh my God, this is me. And someone else can help you see you for who you are and the value that you bring, you may want to reach out to her. So how can we get in contact with you?
So you could connect with me on Facebook at Dr. Jackie Evans Phillips. And also the Power of the Valley, our business page as well, or be part of our group, the Power of the Valley community.
And I strongly advise anyone that is out there. It doesn't matter if you're watching in Illinois. It doesn't matter if you're watching in New Zealand, China, California. Where else we got viewers? Washington, Texas. Please reach out. Dr. Jackie Evans Phillips on Facebook. The Power of the Valley on Facebook. Definitely reach out to her. Like I say, she has people all over the world. And we are looking forward to the launch date.
October 27th.
October 27th, 2018. What's the location?
It's going to be at the Holiday Inn in East Hartford.
Holiday Inn in East Hartford. Definitely be listening out. We will be broadcasting the tickets. I'm sure that you have people that will be getting tickets. I have people that will be getting tickets. We'll be trying to flood the streets because you definitely don't want to miss this. We have some great speakers.
Yes.
You'll have an opportunity to meet the authors, get your books, get them autographed, take a picture, share with your friends, get some Christmas gifts because it is going to be in October, so you can buy about 3 or 4. You do not mind. Share with your friends and family. And we are truly looking forward to October 27th.
Yes.
And the release of this powerful, powerful story. This is just one of 15, 16.
Yes.
Because you write as well.
Yes, yes,
And,
yes.
As we go on this journey over the next few weeks with Lee TV, we will be digging deeper into this journey. And we'll be pulling people out of valleys. We'll be talking about the lowest point in the valleys, the middle points in the valleys, and we'll be sharing life lessons, life journeys, life trials and tribulations and overcomings of various people from various backgrounds. And one of them may relate with you. Listen, one thing that I've learned is that God don't make mistakes. Nothing happens by chance. And certain things just happen by frequency. It's just like dropping a rock in the water and watching the ripple. The ripple's going to touch everything in its path. And you may be in that path. If you are, jump on the wave and ride the wave because you never know what blessings God has from you. I came to Capital Community College almost 10 years ago now and selling lotion. Think about it. Met someone in the dean's office like, oh, this lotion feels so good. And I was like, that's Brenda's Body Boutique. This body butter and make your body feel so special and soft.
Sell it.
And she was like, well, how much is it? I said, well, this little bottle is just $2, but I got a $5 and a $10. You can get yours. I may have candles in a couple months. It just depends on if the basement working right now. And she was like, well, are you in school? And got me into school. And next thing you know, I was working in the library, left the library, and ended up at the Welcome Center working with Dr. Jackie Phillips. She left to do greater, bigger things. My life changed in so many different ways. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go listen to some Caribbean music. Got there late, heard the end of the last song, and who did I see? Dr. Jackie. And she was like, oh my God, Lee, this is spectacular. Oh, you got a TV show? I'm about to launch a book. And we did the Soaring in the Greatness journey. And now we're back again. And we had lost each other for a few years, but the love never stopped. It was a part of that ripple in the water. So I encourage you, when you come across those situations, when you go through your valleys, when you enter the fall of your life, keep your mindset focused on what God has in store for you. And just know that it might get cold before it warms up. And it might rain and then snow again. And if you're in Connecticut, you might get snow all the way up into almost May of your life. But summer's coming. And the harvest will be there.
Yes.
And I encourage each and every one of you to not get stuck in your winter. Even in Antarctica, they have bears that hibernate, but they don't sleep forever. They get up because they know that there's life. There's something to live for. There's something to strive for. And each one of us has something to live for. So if you're out there, I don't know why this just felt heavy in my spirit, and you're feeling like this is the end of your journey, you feel like this is the end of your road, do not quit. Ask God, what is it that I'm here for? Because there may be someone that's looking at you. There may be someone that's going through something, and they're looking at how you handle the situation. They may see you break at one point and then get it back together. They may have a book, a gem, a picture to remind you to get back on the wave and just ride the wave. Stay on your journey and just know that God is with you every step of the way. And I encourage you. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lee, I know I don't have a flyer with me.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you make an announcement for me to let everyone, this is a new year for Ethiopia. We're going into 2011.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is really a national for all Black people. That, thank you.
Sister Trisha's just informed me that this is the time when the Ethiopian people in the Ethiopian Federation are entering into their new year of 2011. See, everybody doesn't go off the United States calendar because it's actually wrong. You study history, but that's going to be a whole nother issue to deal with. But as you dig into your culture, people count the way that they count, and they live the way that they live. And this is a special time. It is the Ethiopian New Year, so we celebrate with you all. And we wish you all Happy New Year. We pray God's blessing in every single step of the next days of your life. And we ask that each and every one of the Lee TV viewers share that love of a new year, a new life, a new level, a new dimension. And we will see you next week on Lee TV's Impact On.